since I'm on a roll, I'm going to continue practicing because practice makes perfect. So this is my animal message deck. I do have an animal medicine card deck, but today I'm going to use my animal messages. Seek inspiration from your animal guides by Susie Green. Oops. Sage is getting everywhere. So like I said earlier, I've just been a little drained and a little restless, depleted. So trying to do something different to take my mind off of things, because if I just sit back and do nothing, then I'm gonna feel guilty about doing nothing and not getting something done. So I might as well be doing something that I actually like doing and that I'm working to try to get better at, and hopefully take my mind off of things or give me my own insight into things and just kind of like talk or think things out. So you'll be seeing me, usually when I don't cleanse my decks that often because I typically just do readings for myself. But I'm gonna do it a little more thoroughly now as I use the decks more frequently and as I share my energy with you all. Because don't forget, energy can be exchanged. You know, you don't have to be here with me to project your energy onto me, and I don't have to be there with you to project my energy onto yourself or onto you. Energy is a very sensitive and powerful thing that a lot of us don't really understand. We don't know. We're not taught to think in terms of energy and energy exchanges. It's not a common conversation, especially when you can't see energy. You know, you can see how energy affects people, but you can't actually see the energy frequencies. So you could be walking around with a black cloud or smoke or gloom or haziness around you. People can't technically see it, and if you saw it, you'd probably snatch yourself right out of it. But since we don't see it, we tend to sulk in bad energy and in whatever negative vibe that we're in. It's very, very easy to stay stuck in a negative energy. It's very hard to stay in a positive energy. I'm not gonna take these. So if you could see energy, if you could see the energy of people that you come into contact with, you'd probably stay away from them. And you'd probably be drawn to different people, you know? It's unfortunate that some of us don't have the ability to see energy or auras, or else you'd make different judgment calls when it came to certain people in your life, or even to yourself, you know. So what animal spread messages do they want you to have today? This one flipped over. also funny, like, I feel like animals always sense people and sense their vibes. An animal can always tell who's a good person and who's not a good person, for the most part. Animals are unconditional, and so they're broken, and then they don't trust, right? Orangutan. Working to live joyously, not living to work. So who else besides me needs to hear this message? Again, this ties into recent videos that I spoke about doing things that you enjoy doing. So if you haven't watched any of my other videos, when you have some time, definitely go back. Because I feel like this channel is just going to be one big long story. And as I'm doing things separately, so far they seem to all be tying into each other. So orangutan, working to live joyously, not living to work. You see monkeys or orangutans. I'm not familiar with all the different types of species, but you know, they run around in the trees, they're monkeying off, having a good time, swinging from branch to branch. How many of you need to find joy in the work that you do or in your work environments, right? Or not live to work and maybe take breaks, you know? You want to wake up, again, with your divine purpose, right? My video I'm uploading right now. I'm going to turn that over for a second. Your divine purpose. You want to do something that you're happy doing and that you like doing. You don't want, you don't want to have just a job, right? You want to think bigger than that. Maybe you don't want to run your own company because it's a lot of work, but you want to be involved in something. You should want to be involved in something that makes you happy and makes other people happy. Because when you are doing the things that you like to do, then you're happy. And it brings you to a freedom. You're doing, you're not tied down to a job, to an everyday routine, all right? Routines get boring, work gets boring, the people around you, you want to create a healthy, happy workspace. And if you cannot create one, or if you can't contribute, if you can't take the bull by the horns, right, and create your work environment to be what you need it to be happy and successful, then you need to find a new work environment to do that in, right? A lot of people are followers, and if you're strong enough to start setting new boundaries and setting new routines or new habits, or contributing to a more community-like workspace and a happy workspace, even if it's like thoughtful things, buying your coworkers lunch, or thoughtful touches, celebrating birthdays, or whatever the case. You don't have to get personal with your work people, but you be nice to them and you be happy. And either they're gonna slowly start disappearing because you're raising the vibration of the energy in your workplace, or you're gonna level out and you're gonna hit a glass ceiling, and you're gonna find a different workplace that's a little bit more suitable to you. So if you are in your dream job that you really like doing, but the problem is where you work now, then either you have to try and change it, you have to put some effort into changing the energy, or you have to find a new energy. Because unfortunately, all of us, we have to work, right? And we have to work a lot of hours, and work takes up a lot of our time. So if we're not happy at work, then what are we doing? Because it's just draining us and making us more tired. Chameleon. Conceal ambition with patience until it is time to make your move. Something in workplace still, right? Maybe you are in an unhealthy work environment, and maybe you need to just not get emotionally attached to your job or your workplace, or the people. You know, maybe you did try those things that I just said, and you tried creating a good, happy space, and right now the job market is a little right? Or maybe it's just a lesson for you to kind of like blend into the scenes. Go to work, do your job, come home, detach. Do not attach to everything. You don't have to. Even if you have a good work ethic, that's fine. But you do not need to take your work problems home with you. Leave your work problems at work. Don't do more than what you're paid to do. Don't worry about more than what you're paid to worry about. And that's all. Don't stress a place that's just your job. It's a job. That is all. Lay low until it's time to make your move, right? And whether that move is changing the energy within the atmosphere that you're in now, or changing the atmosphere that you're in now, and finding somewhere else to be happy in your work environment. I don't think anybody's work environment is super happy right now. Everybody's stressed out. Everybody's work environment's changing. My work environment is changing. I'm not really excited about it, but we're all learning and growing together as a process. It's going to be a trial. So long as we remember that and remember not to take everything personally, you'll be alright. Spider. I love spiders. So I always try to save the spiders. Spiders, they represent creativity. They represent writing. Travel will open up new possibilities and one special connection. How many of us need to get away? Need a change in environment? Even if it's just for a little while. Even if you're not like ready to make a life change and move away or relocate to a new job. Maybe you're not ready for that. But I found in my past to always, I used to always take small getaways, right? And it's probably contributed the most to my success, is getting away and changing my environment for a few days, having a good time, getting some sun, because it kept my vibration high, it kept my mood high, it kept my feelings high, it kept me energetic, and it gave me something to look forward to. So maybe traveling or taking a little weekend getaway is the way to go. But until then, you want to lay low. Lay low until you could get away. Because you still want to be safe out there, right? With all the COVID stuff going on. It doesn't have to be something spectacular. It could be close to home, right? Spiders, they fly around through their own web, right? They're the thread that comes out of them. And then wherever they land, they just make a new home. Self-sufficient, self-resourceful. Maybe the talents that you have, you could take those talents anywhere and start new. And you'll be okay. You could build a home anywhere. And maybe that different environment and traveling will inspire you to be a little more happier at work. And maybe you'll meet somebody that says special connection, you know? Or connect with some friends. Brainstorm. Catch up. Have a little adventure. See something you've never seen before. I like all the green in the first two cards. You know, trees, forests, nature. Maybe you need to travel to a park. Or maybe you need to start taking walks through a park. Start hiking. Locally. Again, you don't have to be far. Every city has a park. Every town, every city has pathways that people could walk through. Find it. And with that connection to nature, you can fly. All the blue, trips by plane, trips over water. We get one more. Owl. It's funny, I was thinking of owl. I thought that was an owl the first time I saw it. When I saw it. Seek out deeper knowledge to see through deception. Owls are wisdom, right? Deeper knowledge, deception. Maybe somebody's trying to dupe you at work. Very tricky stuff going on right now. So you want to learn as much as possible. You want to know your worth. Take this time to get as much information as you can and learn. Learn your craft, whether it's work. Increase your value. So that you can express your self-worth. Update your resume. We don't know what's going to happen after this quarantine. We don't know what companies are going to survive, what companies are going to crash. We don't know what companies are going to downsize. So you need to step your game up, right? You don't want to be the person that's let go because they're not resourceful or you're not of value. You know, unfortunately, it's true, and that's what it's going to come down to, right? The more you know, the more you're content and happy and you have a good energy, the more likely you are to succeed. Can't just fire you for not being in a good mood, but they're not going to want you around either if you're not happy. And they're going to let go of the people that can't multitask and they can't, use in different environments. So you have to learn as much as you can for yourself to protect you, to protect you and your job and your income. Or you could use all of that information and find a new job. Because when they threaten you, like if you get threatened to get let go of, you could show your cards and be like, well, why are you letting go of me? I'm qualified in this. I could do this. I know how to do this. Or you take that resume and then you go somewhere else because then everybody's going to be looking for jobs and you want to stand out. Or they might want to give you a pay cut, right? And again, you just want to show them what your worth is. So this stage in our life is all about adapting and how you adapt. You can either take it hard, or you can be a little more upbeat about it and move on already. Start moving on, start prepping. Because the ones that are of us that are going to get through this a little smoother than others are the ones that's going to make the best out of our environments. Whether it's being a bright light or just going in and doing what you got to do and not being affected by other people's energies, keeping your head down. And if you do have to get away to do that and come back and take a break, then you have to do that. Because something is going to come up. Whatever that is, I don't know. But you let me know. Talk soon.